You know, I was sharing seen by about 3-4 times FC Media hailed me to interview me concerning the drift scene.
And what happened?
But me, I never hail them back, but I thought that I hail them, but I ain't hear from them in a while, they just fall off the map.
Oh, go, you hurry, when them fellas reach, they go reach, you're fried, no, you're on the map, Don't come,
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Alright, so my name is Mark Fraser, aka Drift Kid. I drive the A31 Cifero. Well, my passion for cars, well, it began playing game. Need for Speed. Well, all the generations are Need for Speed. What really got me more in depth into it was this S right behind all of here. Kerry. Rest in peace. He, as a youth man growing up, he always used to be passing with the 86 at them timing. And I just used to be hearing this engine noise, and from playing game, you run out excited to see what's going on. And yeah, a day he was passing casual, and I stopped him, I talked to him, whatever. And yeah, from then everything was history. I like that question because I like how you specify, because I'll call it playing the fool for about, let me say a year and a half, right? That's just, normal little wildness. Nothing too spectacular, but professionally, well, I wouldn't say professionally because I haven't been drifting professionally as yet in terms of competition stage or competition level, but I've been on the tracks twice, the last being the last test and tune going there. So, not professionally, sorry. Drifting like controlled and more fine-tuned, I would say probably like a year. Well, yeah, that would be Kerry Phillip, right? As I said previously, he was the person that introduced me to it, and from seeing him on the streets and thing, wherever, I started doing my little research. After reaching out to him, as being a person from the area, we would keep in contact, and he would explain to me certain things and how to go about getting into it and developing yourself, etc., etc. And yeah, internationally, well, I haven't been exposed to the car culture. Well, at that time, I wasn't exposed to the car culture so in depth as yet. So I wasn't aware of the external entities. I wasn't aware that this is something that was worldwide. I thought this was just here, right? And as I say, from seeing him, I thought that was a heating, and I just wanted to do that too, because I find it was cool, right? So yeah. Specs, well, nothing big to talk about. Bone stock RB25 Neo DT, stock turbo, stock manifold, stock injectors, no management, aftermarket fuel pressure regulator. I recently installed a surge tank and an external Bosch fuel pump. The internal tank went bad. The internal pump, went bad. Right? I condemned that and I put back a stock pump. And boost about 10 pound boost, and that's it. To be honest, I got the car similar to the way it is right now, meaning I got it with the stock setup that it have. The only thing that I did to the car was change the coilovers, change the fuel pump, change the boost controller, a manual boost controller running, Turbo Smart. I just turn up the boost. It came with the big brakes. It came with basically the majority of stuff here. The only thing I put in on the car was suspension work, one-piece drive shaft, change the gearbox. It had a YD25 box. I changed it. I put back a small box for now. I changed the clutch, pressure plate, everything that goes with the drivetrain. Same diff. And well, the fuel pump as I mentioned before, and that basically it. Well, boy, that. I think the question self-explanatory, because I mean, what not to love about it, right? Is a very fun car to drive. It's easy to drive. When you call for it to do something, it answers without hesitation. So basically, you don't really have to put in much work to get it to do what you want it to do. You know, all you have to do is just basically you just ask it and it would respond. You know, I love that about it. I love that it don't give me no set of headache, although it does have at times where, you know, it's making me feel to push it over a cliff. But other than that, yeah, I like how it does look. I like the reaction that it get from people when they see it. They be like, "Way, that's a clean car." And then when they see like if they see the car perform, they would expect that, you know, big turbo management and all kind of thing. When I pull the bonnet and they see it's a stock setup, you know, yeah. To be honest, I don't really hate anything about the car per se, except for the fact that tires, boy. Yeah, she don't forgive me with tires at all. Well, boy, it's euphoric, right? It's something that you could never get accustomed to. In terms of the feeling, you would get accustomed to the maneuvers. You get accustomed to the style of your drive style. You get accustomed to the initiations and what has happened when you do this, when you do that, whatever. But in terms of the feeling you just get while doing these stuff, it's something that I don't know, boy. It's inexplainable. You understand? It just feel real good. It just feel real good. Well, on the day of drifting, tires again, right? That was my only pullback. Before track day, never really had any issues. After track day, never had any issues. And that's another thing, going back to the question you asked before, what I love most about the car. That is one of the things I love about my car. I could jump in my car, bung starter, drive to the track, hammer it, and drive back home normal. You understand? I love that. Well, again, all the Need for Speed generations I would have been playing, they had circuit, sprint, drift, drag. Right now, while I was playing the game, I was a drags man. Love drag racing, yeah. But again, I was never exposed externally, as in the world, in the real life. I was never exposed to motorsport, right? So I never knew what real life drag entailed. I never knew what real life circuit entailed, or any of the sorts, right? I never had anybody around me to say, well, hey, this is this, that is that. You know, let me go here, let me go on the track, let me go do this, let me go do that. I was never exposed to that kind of culture. And first exposure to real life motorsport that I had was through Kerry, and after being engaged and being around drifting for so long, or for that period of time, when I really compared to the other sports, I say nah, drift is it, drift is life. Locally, well, let me just start with, I want to tandem with anybody that's comfortable enough tandeming with me, because I am still a developing driver, right? I am not too 100 in the know-how as yet, right? Plenty of people would see me on the track and they'll be like, boy, you're looking real good. You understand? You're handling the course real good. But me to myself, I not content with where I am. I want to improve. And with that mindset, it might be bad, but I don't want to take the chance going out there with anybody and risk any casualties, right? Because people just say, you know, is the love of the sport if you touch that small thing, but at the end of the day, a man go to it. And I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for nobody else. So if you comfortable with going out there with me, right? Yeah, we will go and we will do our thing. And it will have to be well, right now at the level I am at, it will have to be with somebody that I know are good with, you know. So locally, well, last track day, I wouldn't say tandem, but I went on the track, me and Shivam, right? Both of us went, he followed me, I followed him. But everybody else who asked to go with me, I tell them, well, now all you go ahead, because I was having some issues linking some of the corners and I was spinning out the majority of the times, right? So I didn't want nobody follow me for where I spin out and they coming on to me, or, you know. Internationally, it have a couple of guys that I watch, right? It have a couple of guys that I watch, but I like Ryan, correct? I like his style, his energy. Yeah, I like his energy. So externally, I would probably want to tandem with him one day. Another good question. Uplifting the sport of drifting in the country, I would say, is not just about drifting alone. It's motorsport on the whole, right? Trinidad now, well, I wouldn't say now, but it now started to pick up speed in terms of recognizing what motorsport is and the direction that we could head with motorsport, and the way that it could put the country on the map then, right? Before, when people hear fast car, race car, they're only thinking streets, accident, this, that, hard driving, whatever, and they never really used to focus on actual motorsport in terms of where it could bring the country to a certain level. You understand? Because it have plenty of people that follow football, cricket, basketball, these kind of things, and it have even those sports limited in the country, and they more focus on it externally, right? Same for motorsport, but motorsport more in the shadows than those other sports. So I would say to uplift the sport of drifting, more track days, more events, more heads. When I say heads, I mean like more important people who have like the power to change the views and outlook of motorsport on the whole, right? Effort. We need somebody who have a drive or a passion for the sport to put in that work to get from where it is to where we need it to be. Right. Sponsors. That again tricky, because in Trinidad is and it's not just for motorsport or for drifting, right? It's for anything. Whether you're applying for a job, whether you're going for an interview, for a job or whatever it is you're doing in Trinidad, it's not about who you know. It's about who know you, right? So I could know many people who have the capabilities of sponsoring me, but them not gonna sponsor me because them don't know me. If they know me, they would be like, you know, I'll get a touch. I don't know what drifting is, you know, but because you like it and I know you, I go support you, right? So I'll get a little play. But for people who don't know each other, because all right, let me say we're going back external, outside there. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. The upliftment of the sport would cause the sponsorship to increase. The fact that this sport is not really recognized in Trinidad as much as yet is why sponsors will be hesitant to brand your car or support your car or support you, right? Whereas outside there, motorsport widely known. So all you have to do is just come out probably like a one time, and a sponsor will see you and say, hey, this man looking like he has potential. I'll talk to him, pass the car, we'll do a thing, wherever. Down here, people want to see you 3, 4, 5 times. You gotta make sure you're good. They ain't watching that you now start and you're shaky, you have potential. They want to see you actually performing. You have to be 100% good before they sponsor you. You understand? And that might be, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but it's a holdback. Right? So not to deviate from the question, but in terms of sponsorship, I would say by just stay consistent, right? Try to be a part of all the events possible. You know, make yourself present. You know, the more they see you, the more they're familiar with you. They would see where you start, they would see where you end up, they would see where you're going. Right? And I believe once you have that down pat, you'll be able to get sponsorship on board. I know plenty people, they would say this driver discipline, keep it off the streets, you know, safety, this, that, whatever. But that is a ticklish statement, because if you really check it, drifting in particular started on the streets, right? In the Japanese, they started on the streets. The only difference is they would have waited for after hours when the streets dead, no traffic, no pedestrians, etc., and then they will come out and do the thing, right? So if any casualties occur, it's just them and the car or them and the brethren, whatever the case may be, or they will take it to the hills. Now, we don't have much hills in Trinidad. We have plenty streets, but again, it's Trinidad. You know, Trinidad people wayward. I don't want to use that word, but I mean, it is what it is. That's the reality of it. Any chance a boy get, he go try to wing it. You understand? Whether it's cars on the road, pedestrians, whatever. And that's not the right thing, right? I don't condone it. But it ticklish in the sense that people is focused too much on the bad of it, and they don't see the good. You understand? So, nah. I wouldn't say it's a waste of money. It is an expensive sport, yes. Waste of money, no. Because at the end of the day, if drifting makes you happy, if it is your passion, if it is what you love, it has no price. It has no price to pay for that, right? So I wouldn't consider it a waste of money. My advice to the newcomers who want to get into the sport of drifting, right? It's simple. You just get something rear wheel, cheap, and you just come out there and enjoy yourself. Probably, well, you ought to get a little welded there for some kind of thing, because you know you want your 2 wheels spinning at all times, right? And you just enjoy yourself. Don't study the onlookers. Don't study who might say this, who might think this, who might say whatever. You just go and enjoy yourself. Well, for the rest of the year, My plans for the car is to go up in power, not by much, but the last track day that I went on, I had some limitations. Some of it was driver limitations, but the majority was car limitations in terms of the corners and, you know, the car running out of breath. So for 2022, I probably want to go up in power a little bit and yeah, see how the car handles then, and you know, see where that takes me. Well, fans, I didn't know I had fans. I mean, for the ones who see me on the track and be like, you know, I like this guy, I like the energy, etc., etc. Not much to say, you know, just thanks for the support, and you know, feel free to reach out to me, hail me, talk to me. You know, if we on the track a day, you want to ride along, let me go, let me make something happen, you know. Well, I had, let me see, I had three memorable moments drifting. Again, before, well, during COVID time, tracks was closed. Keeping it street, obviously. Control after hours. Undisclosed area. Driving. Miscalculated. Hit my back rim on a island. Dent it. Drive straight home one time. Didn't even check the damage. Went to my bed, sleep. Check it the next morning. After I realized that, you know, minor little scuff, so I went and get repaired thing, etc. The other two, again, on the streets, controlled after hours, almost end up in a drain, almost end up in my own yard, yeah. So that would be the three most memorable moments in drifting for me. Yeah, I don't really have any callouts per se. I just like to see the community, the car community, come out and enjoy themselves. If everybody could come out and enjoy themselves and just, you know, all the way on the tracks having fun, doing the thing, yeah, I all for that. But in terms of call outs, I wouldn't call it a call out, but people who I would like to see jump back out and newcomers who I would like to see come out on the tracks. Kid, my boy Menace, he's one of them who behind the scenes a while now are waiting patiently for you to come back out, right? Everybody else basically who just in the shadows waiting for when, I don't know. You know, just come out and let me do a thing. Family, yeah, I would like to shout out my entire family who, you know, just pop with the loud noise, right through. Whole night is a rah. You know, up to now, they never called police for me yet. Although they threatened me plenty times. I love all this still. I like to shout out my mechanic, Dudley, right? He is the person that does do all the work on the car. He have the car where it is right now. DTT Auto, right? I like to shout out my brethren and them who they support me too. You know, man like Kid, Shepherd man. Yeah, basically. Right, so I also want to shout out the #1 motorsport media in the country, FC Media. Thank you for the opportunity for, you know, showcasing me and my A31, and to be honest, the work that all they're doing, uplifting, not just drifting, but the other motorsport in the country, bringing it on the map, making people aware of, you know, this is a culture that we could embrace and push forward and use to bring Trinidad to a higher standard, right? Thank you all for that. You all are doing an excellent job. I've seen many tried and they I wouldn't say they fail, but they fall short. because it has certain content or coverages that they miss. You understand? The focus different, right? And with all here is like all you grasp the consensus of what motorsport is and what we need to highlight, how we need to bring it forward, you know. So great work to you guys for that, and glad that all you're back on track, because all you're missing in action for a while. You know, the community has been asking, where were you guys? You know, but thankfully, glad to see that all you're back on track, and looking forward to future interviews, future content, anything that FC Media had to bring. Don't know.